So Nancy, thank you for taking the time and allowing me to interview you and learn more about you and learn about your new book.
Thanks, Chris. I'm happy to be with you today.
Awesome. So why don't we just start, tell me a little bit about yourself.
Okay. Well, I had a typical childhood. I grew up in Connecticut, was surrounded by the arts and culture and all kinds of icons, that I thought I would model my life after. One of whom was F. Lee Bailey, because he was the most famous lawyer at the time.
Okay.
And he had this great pinstripe suit. And I thought, one day, when I become a lawyer, I'm going to get myself a pinstripe suit, briefcase, and we'll go out and save the world.
So that was the moment that you said, hey, I think law is where I want to be.
I always wanted to be a lawyer.
Okay. Where did you go to school?
I went to school in Connecticut.
Okay.
Fairfield University,
All right.
and then University of Bridgeport Law School, which is now Quinnipiac.
Okay. All right. Never heard that word before, but when did you end up coming to Florida?
I've been here around 7 years,
Okay.
7.5 years.
So it's Connecticut to Florida.
No, actually, there was a pit stop in New Jersey
Okay.
for
yeah.
for marriage
All right.
and children. And then I was practicing law with my now ex-husband and did not want to do that anymore.
Okay.
I wanted to do something completely different. I was practicing family law, which, as you can imagine, is kind of messy. And
Sure.
it's not always nice. And I thought, well, heck with this. I don't want to do this anymore. And when I came to Florida, thought that working at Walmart would be a nice idea. Because
Doesn't pay as well.
it doesn't pay as well, but you can say whatever you want, and everything's in the back left corner. And so by the time you get to the back left corner, I guess they figure you found whatever it is you're looking for. But turns out I ended up working where else but at a small boutique law firm in Hope Sound.
Okay.
My boss hired me to start his estate planning and probate practice. And that's where I learned how to research the software and how to set up the billing. And frankly, Mark saw something in me that I wasn't aware of. He saw a talent that I had, and he knew that I wanted that same experience that he had with his clients. They were laughing and crying and hugging and kissing. And he knew that I couldn't speak the law out of my own mouth. So this attorney gave me the greatest gift anyone's ever given me. He kicked me out of the office with my paycheck. And
Okay.
yeah, right. And said, I don't want to see you until after the bar exam.
Did you think that this area of law would be something that you would find interesting
Never,
initially?
never.
Because it kind of sounds a little boring, right?
Yeah, it's not sexy in law school.
Okay.
In fact, when I was elected to the Probate Law Journal in law school, I thought, ugh, second prize. But, everything else is sexier, right? Family law, big, messy divorces, personal injury, there's a lot of money.
Yeah.
But when it comes to the satisfaction of practicing law, this is my area.
Okay. Tell me about your family.
Well, I have 2 boys,
Okay.
and as you know, an ex-husband. My older son is an actor / sommelier, and you know how acting goes, it cycles. So he's in Napa right now. And then I have a 25-year-old who's adopted from Romania.
How do you like living in the North Palm Beach area?
It's wonderful. It's a wonderful mix of culture, dining, great places to go, sports, everything you could want is really here. And when I moved from the New York metro area, I was a little nervous about the culture, but
Totally different, yeah.
it's totally different, except it's not. The first time I walked into the Maltz Jupiter, I couldn't get in the door fast enough. I was like, I'll sweep the floors. I just want to be around this energy, because the professionalism, the way you can watch the production come together is phenomenal. And
Wow.
I think we have world-class everything here. We just have to.
What are some of
Take
some of your favorite places to visit?
Well, I love Lake Park.
Yeah.
So
Brew house.
the brew house, I call it Mayberry because it is.
It really is. It's got that feel.
Small town America. And then as you work your way up, you don't have to go far. There's the Pelican Cafe, and the Sinatra tunes are flowing all the time. And
I don't know if I've ever been there. Where's that at?
oh, it's wonderful. It's right on the corner of Park Avenue and US 1. When you
Okay.
turn, it's right there.
All right, I have to check that out.
And it's a very hot ticket. It's hard to get in.
Any other? What did you like to do in your spare time?
Well, as you know, I'm a pianist, so I love that.
What's your favorite genre?
Oh, classical music.
Okay. All right.
I think there's more passion and excitement in classical music than in any other and the expression comes from your fingers.
So tell me a little bit more about your son and your adoption, and what motivated you or inspired you to write this book.
Well, George was the birth of When the Bough Breaks. When I adopted this child from Romania, I was really full of dreams for the life I would give a disadvantaged child and how you complete my family. I thought I was giving my older son a little brother. Instead, George arrived in the suburbs of New Jersey, a feral child. He was a wild animal in the body of a boy.
Wow.
With a host of disabilities, alcohol syndrome, to autism, to attachment disorder. We came to call the violence he rained down on us Hurricane George.
Tell me, what was the motivating factor that made you decide, hey, I need to write a book about my life and the situation with your son?
When we all ended up vertical, realized we'd survived Hurricane George, right? And George, of course, won the biggest prize because he's in a wonderful environment and well cared for. And I realized I had words. I also realized that I had a responsibility to tell my story, to shed light, because there are thousands upon thousands of families who are living in this country with broken adoptions, with children with disabilities, with children with problems, and they don't talk about it. So Dr. Ronald Federici read my book. He is a neuropsychologist.
How were you able to get that to him?
I had consulted with him, with George.
Okay.
And he is the country's leading expert in Eastern European adoption. He read the book and then he wrote my foreword.
That's great. Yeah, what an honor, right?
It's a great honor, and it means that he approves and he understands and realizes that there's so many parents living with this shame, and they don't understand that asking for help is not a sign of weakness, it's a sign of strength. And we're here. I'm here for you.
Where would you find this book for those who are interested in reading about it and learning more about it?
I'm so glad you asked. It is currently available for pre-order at Amazon.com and at BarnesandNoble.com.
Okay.
And it will be dropped October 3rd, maybe sooner, but we will be making some big announcements and having some signing parties.
Awesome. It's got to be exciting.
It's very exciting.
The title of your book is?
When the Bough Breaks.
It was wonderful having this time, learn more about you and the book. I'm looking forward to it being a huge success.
Thank you. Buy the book.
Yeah.
Thanks, Chris.
All right,
It's wonderful.